All right, Glenn. Glenn, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from a little small town called Rialto, California, in the city in the county of San Bernardino.
Hmm. And tell me about your family. You had both your parents?
I had, in a sense, I had an adopted father, and I had my biological mother, and my six sisters. I'm the only boy in the family, so there's seven of us.
Where was your biological dad?
My biological father, come to find out, he was in prison for he was doing a 17-year stretch for manslaughter on the police officer.
Do you know anything about your father?
Um,
Did you ever meet him?
I met him. I met him a few years when I was like 21 years old. I actually I got into some trouble out here in California, and the only place I can get away with is Iowa, Storm Lake, Iowa. That's where he was at. He was working for a Tyson company, Tyson meat company, and that's where I was at. You know what I mean? I went out there until things blew over out here in California, and then I went back. But yeah, he's a convict. My father's a convict, and he's no longer on parole probation, but he is on federal probation. You know what I mean? Yeah.
How would you describe your childhood?
It was rough. It was rough being the only boy in my family. I felt like all my sisters got everything before I did. You know what I mean? I'd be the first one up for school and the last one out because they'd be bullying me in the restroom and stuff. You know what I mean? But if I could rate it 9 out of 10, I'd probably give my childhood a 7, a 7. I mean, as far as being fun, you know what I mean?
And then things went bad.
Yeah, things went bad. My stepdad was abusive, and as far as abusive, I'm talking about beating me like I was a grown man. You know what I mean? Getting 2x4, and wherever it landed, I'm getting hit, and broken bones, a couple broken noses. You know what I mean? Because he was just backhanding me, or you know what I mean? He's old school. He's from I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's Morelia, Michoacan, Mexico. So he's old school, Mexican, like it's my way or the highway type of deal. Like you can't tell him I love you because he thinks you're a faggot or something. You know what I mean? You can't give him a hug because that's not what men do. You shake your hand, you know what I mean? Or you just acknowledge him with the oh, what's up? You know what I mean? But very abusive, you know what I mean? It's in a sense to where, dude, why you got all these bruises on you? Oh, I fell, or I mean, we were wrestling, or you know what I mean? Be like, you don't got no brothers. Like, who you wrestling with? Oh, like my sisters. Like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, you know what I mean? And to the point the teachers noticed. He pulled I don't know, back in the day, I don't know if it was common, but my little, one of those kids' sideburns, he pulled it so hard to where his whole side was bald. You know what I mean? And you can tell, you know what I mean? So the teachers noticed, hey, what happened here? Are you okay? And no, my parents don't hit me. I'm lying, you know what I mean? But my whole body's full of bruises, you know what I mean? But I mean, I had to lie a lot for my stepdad, you know?
Do you feel like that has affected your adult life in any way?
I think I think it's made me strong enough to not be like him. You know what I mean? I have kids myself, and I've never disciplined my kids, and my kids don't know what it is. If you can ask my kids, has your dad ever hit you? Has your dad ever put his hands on you? They'll be like, no. I mean, my dad has never hit me. How's your dad discipline you? All he has to do is look at me, and I know I'm doing something wrong. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
It is. But you got into trouble.
Yeah, I got into some trouble at a young age. There was out of 5 of us, 4 of us got caught. I was the 5th one that got away. I got four of my friends, my best friends, doing life in prison to this day. For growing up, we didn't know no better. We were a bit racist to the blacks, and we burned their house down. And I mean, I say this without prejudice. You know, I hope it doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. But yeah, we burned their house down, and a couple of them passed away. You know what I mean? And like I said, there was 4 of us, and there was 5 of us, and 4 of us got caught. I'm the one that got away. I'm the one that got sent to Iowa. You know what I mean? And then as an adult, I picked up a couple assault and battery charges, picked up a couple gun charges, and I just spiraled. I mean, downhill after that. You know what I mean? I did 11 years in prison straight for involuntary manslaughter. I got in a fight, knocked the dude out. The dude hits the floor. And unbeknown to the fact, he had a brain aneurysm. I mean, I'm not knowing this till 11 years later, till I put my appeal in. The doctor asked us for the autopsy, and they're like, "Well, what's this?" I said, "Brain aneurysm." So he was already dying. I mean, well, yeah. And the dude's like, "Objection, Your Honor." No, Your Honor's like, "Sustained." Keep talking. Like the judge didn't even know nothing about this. I didn't know nothing about this. So I'm sitting in jail for. I'm sitting in prison for. I'm already doing life. My life. They gave me a life sentence, and I'm doing life. And my cellie, as a matter of fact, can I say it? Can I say his name? His name's Rudy Acosta from F. Orange County. He's a lifer. He was like, "Look, bro, I'll help you with your appeal." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Nah, man, for what, dude? Like, forget about that, man. They gave me what they gave me already." Well, behind my back, he fills out my appeal paperwork. They call me one day. They're like, "Hey, Torres, roll it up. You're going out to court." I'm in prison already. I'm in Calapat, a 4-yard. I'm with gangsters, killers, murderers, you name it. You name it. The Manson brothers. I'm there. You know what I mean? Charles Manson. You know what I mean? He was my neighbor for a while. You know what I mean? So I'm Richard Ramirez. I was able to meet him in prison. I don't know if you guys remember the Night Stalker from LA County. So I come out to court, and sure enough, I'm in court for like 2 months, doing this appeal, and I'm mad. And the whole time I'm mad at myself, like, this motherfucker, like, you know what I mean? He went behind my back, like you know what I mean? It's a process going back and forth to court, you know what I mean? So the day comes to where it's retrial, and my mom's there, the whole family's there, and I haven't seen my mom and dad my mom and my sisters in about 11 years. You know what I mean? And I've only been able to talk to them on paper, because Calipat's far. It's over Centinela, it's over there by Ironwood, by Mexico. It's pretty far. And so I was like, "Don't trip, Mom. You know what I mean? I'll be home soon, 11 years ain't nothing. It's a decade. You know what I mean? She has strong belief, you're coming home, you're coming home, you're coming home. My mind was set. I'm doing life in prison, and that's it. I mean, that's all I'm doing. Like, I love you guys, but if you guys keep coming back and forth for visits, I'm gonna get weak, and I'm not gonna be able to do this. You know what I mean? So my cellie, like I said, goes down my back, fills out the appeal paperwork. They call me to court. Torres are going out to court. You know what I mean? All right. So I go out to court. I come back all the way down here to West Valley Detention Center, right here in San Bernardino County. And I'm sitting there for about 2.5 months, going back and forth to court. The day comes to deliberate, and you guys come to an agreement. Yes, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty of first-degree murder, but we found him guilty for count 2 and 3 of involuntary manslaughter to the first degree, time served. And I was like, "Time served? What does that mean?" They're like, "You're going home." You know what I mean? I look back at my attorney, and he's like, "You're okay, you're okay." Your Honor says, "Mr. Torres, well, you've done 11 years now, and the jury finds you not guilty of first-degree murder, but finds you guilty of involuntary manslaughter at the first degree with time served. So this matter is dismissed, Mr. Torres, and go look on the streets." You know what I mean? And that's how that was. You know what I mean?
How'd you feel?
Dude, oh my gosh, dude, I was. By that time I thought cars were flying and all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? You don't know what you think when you're behind the wall and you haven't seen society in such a long time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, "Excuse me," I'm eating really fast at the dinner table. You know what I mean? I'm taking 2-minute showers, and my mom was like, "Son, relax." You know what I mean? Like, you don't gotta live like that. I'm like, "I know, Mom. I'm just used to it." You know what I mean? I'm reading books. I'm playing chess. I'm working out every day, and I catch my mom looking at myself, crying, like, "Damn, that's my son. Like, what did they do to him?" You know what I mean? Like, but it's just something that gets installed in you. You know what I mean? It's at a young age, and especially being in prison, I had to just break the monotony, bro. You know what I mean? That's it. I mean, I had to break the monotony, and I did. You know what I mean? I beat the system, and I came home.
So, I mean, what kind of things were you doing before you got into trouble with
Well,
prison?
before I landed in prison, I traveled. You know what I mean? I was traveling. Like I said, I went to. I met my father in Iowa, Storm Lake, Iowa. I visited Chicago, Omaha, Nebraska, Billings, Montana, Seattle, Washington. Seattle, Washington's cool. The Pike is I love it. The last place I landed before I came back to California was Vegas. And if you're not familiar with Vegas, there's this Summerlin, Henderson, excuse me, Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's a little thing they call Naked City. I mean, people aren't walking around naked, but it's what they call the area because it's infested with prostitutes, drugs, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know what I mean? So my cousin Crystal, rest in peace, she was living there. She had a 3-bedroom apartment there, and so it's a late night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, and every convenience store has a slot machines. So you mean I'm at the 7-Eleven playing slot machine, and you know, $5 here, $5 there. I'm drinking a beer. I mean, they don't care. So I don't know her. The door opens. Someone's walking in, and I hear help, 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 and I'm like, so I mean the dude's looking like go help her. I'm not gonna help her. You go help her. So I'm like, of course. So I go help her. I put my cape on. You know what I mean? Just a figure of speech. I'm just playing. So I run over there, and this black dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to get racial or nothing, but this black dude's holding on to this girl, and she's playing tug of war. Like, let me go, help me. But you could tell she's like not American because her English is broken. But she's like, help me, help me, help me. So I run up and I separate them and I go, hey bro, you know, back the fuck up. I'm sorry, can I say that on camera? Hey bro, back up a little bit. You know what I mean? Obviously the girl right here doesn't want to mess with you. You know what I mean? And then he was like, hey bro, like, all right, if she's yours, fuck, you can have her. You know what I mean? I'm like, yes, he's mine. He's my husband. He's telling me. I'm like, your husband? He's like, your husband? Yeah, it's my wife. All right, well, you guys have a good night. So, are you okay? Are you okay? She, oh my God, thank you. I mean, she's pretty, dude. Like, this girl is so gorgeous. I'm like, dude. I'm like, I need that. You know what I mean? Like, I need that. Like, can you come to my house? Can I go to your house type of deal? And she, oh, I need a drink. Oh, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you a drink. And we get back to her house, dude, and we're vibing. She takes her shirt off, and she's walking around her house in a bra. She has these little booty shorts on, and the music, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get it in, dude. Like, you know what I mean? She's a beautiful woman. And see, this drugs leads you to, you know what I mean? Pretty much you don't think, you know what I mean, when you're under the influence. And so I go, hey, you know, before we do anything, because she sits on my lap, dude, so she's in front of me, her boobs are right here, and I'm looking at her. I said, look, before we go anywhere, I just want to let you know that, I mean, thank you for allowing me to, you know what I mean, to be here right now and opening the doors. Oh, no problem. You saved my life. I could repay you, you know, and sucky. And I'm like, well, cool. I'm not worried about it. I mean, that's how you want to repay me. That's what's up. And so I keep reaching, dude. I keep reaching, and she's like, stop. And I keep reaching. I'm like, stop. And then she gets up off of me, bro. And she tells me, are you sure you want this? And I said, yeah, hell yeah, I want this, you know? And she says, okay, you can't be mad. I said, mad? And I'm like, oh God, please don't tell me you're a dude. And she's like, no, well, not a dude. I'm only a dude from the waist down. And I said, what? She goes, yeah. I go, are you serious? She said, yeah. Oh, can I see? You know what I mean? Can I just, you gotta be shitting me. Can I see? You know what I mean? She said, sure. So she bends over, bro, and all I see is nut sacks. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, all right, I've seen enough. And I'm like, oh, no, it's okay, honey. You're not gay, you're okay. So you still want me to, you still want this? And I said, no. I said, with all due respect, I don't want this. You know what I mean? I go, but we could be friends. And she said, okay, you spend the night and can I sucky still? I said, no, none of that. Like, I like women. And she said, okay, I have a lot of women friends. Tomorrow I introduce you. Oh, okay. So I'm like, I spend the night, bro. It's cool. She's cool. She's real respectful. Her name's Anna, bro. She lives in Vegas off of Van Patten. And that's called Naked City. It's right behind the Riviera. The little house is right there, right behind the Riviera. And so I'm there, dude. I'm been drinking. So I didn't wake up till like 11 o'clock in the morning. So I wake up and there's a bunch of women there. Just coming home from doing their thing, and they're all trannies, dude. You know what I mean? Unbeknownst to the fact, they're all trannies, and there's only one girl there. Her name's Maria. That's all woman. You know what I mean? And Maria's by far the sexiest one of all. You know what I mean? So I said, with all due respect, I said, are you a tranny too? And she goes, oh no, honey, I'm all woman. You know what I mean? She shows me. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, cool. And I go, what's the deal? She goes, oh, these women, you know what I mean? They're called renegades. They're women, they're ex-prostitutes that run away from their pimps. You know what I mean? That's what they call them, renegades. And so they have no title. They work. They're freelancers. They work for themselves. But if their pimp sees them, it's called being snatched up. They get snatched up again. So because they belong to that organization. They belong to that pimp. But say you're a pimp and you have a bunch of girls, but you got one girl that keeps looking at me, and I look at her and I said, what's up, ma? You know what I mean? Why are you looking at me like that? You know what I mean? It's called reckless eyeballing. Now that girl becomes my girl because she's staring at me. You know what I mean? If she respects you as her pimp, she's gonna look at the floor, or look away, not look at no other men. You know? And it's called reckless eyeballing. So I don't know nothing about pimping, dude. I don't know nothing about none of that. You know what I mean? But these girls, I'm their manager. You know what I mean? They call it. All right, cool. So it went from, hey, I'm done here. Come pick me up, or hey, can you hold the door for me? I'm coming out. To her like, hey, let's go to the car dealership. We're gonna get you a car. Wow, you're gonna get me a car? Like these girls are selling their bodies to get me a car, bro. You know what I mean? So they buy me a Mercedes.
You became their pimp.
I became their pimp, dude. Full blown their pimp. But I wasn't taking all their money. You know what I mean? It was 70-30. They would keep 70%, I would keep 30. You know what I mean? And it wasn't because I asked for it. It was because I don't want their money, bro. They put in all that work. They sacrificed their body or however for them to just give it up for free. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? No, just I'll take 30% just for being your bodyguard. That was my title. I'm her bodyguard. I'm her bodyguard. Oh, dude, you're her pimp, dude. No, I'm her bodyguard. So a couple of friends from Cali come over and they're like, bro, man, you got a bunch of women right here, bro. Like, what's up with them, you know? So I got a picture. I'll show you one day. Hopefully we establish a relationship to where I'll show you to where they have those big old couches they used to that turn like that, but they connect. Mm-hmm. You can make a horseshoe out of them. Well, I have a picture of it, and all my homies, all my friends from California are there, about 5 of us, and there's about 17 girls, right? All with no shirts on, and we're like this, feeling like real players, right? Little do they know, all these girls are transvestites, you know what I mean? But yeah, that lasted for about 2 years, dude. And I went gambling one day, and I hit the Riviera, and I hit him for 180,000. I mean, a slot machine, and Well, Vegas has this thing. You can't leave the state of Vegas without more than $10,000. I mean, you gotta invest it into stocks and bonds. It's what they do, or you invest into the casino. That way, whenever you go back to casino, you go from being a mere nobody to Mr. Torres or Mr. Jackson or whatever your name, whatever your last name is. Um, Full blown benefits, you know what I mean? And that's what I had. So Vegas is mob city, bro. You know what I mean? I'll tell you that much. Because when you think nobody's watching, somebody's always watching. And so I come back. So they tell me, you want to get escorted to your car? And I said, no, I'm fine. I got this. You know what I mean? About an hour passes, and I notice, you know, you can tell people are watching you. And I look, and I'm like, damn, that dude wasn't there before. I'm like, that dude wasn't there before. And this girl sitting next to me, but she keeps putting her hands on my legs. And I'm like, I don't even know this girl. I'm like, hey, can I help you? And she's like, no, you know, I just think you're hot. And I'm like, okay, well, can you keep your hands to yourself? Because my leg is hot. You know what I mean? And she was like, so she starts playing on my leg, and I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, what's your name? She said, Maribel. I said, okay, Maribel. So what's going on? What are you doing here? She goes, well, you know, I'm here watching this watching this beautiful guy, you know what I mean? Play his games, and I go, yeah, which one? He goes, you silly. And I go, yeah. And for some reason, I went like this, and my face gets slammed into the machine. Bam. You know what I mean? Like, boom. So when I look back, it was a wrap. My lights went out. You know what I mean? All I remember is little skits of my face. I don't know if I was in a van, or I don't know, but my face is getting drugged like a grinder on the asphalt in Las Vegas, and my whole face. I have pictures. I'll show you one day. My whole face, the whole side right here is getting grinded on the floor because they want to know where the rest of my money's at. And I'm like, I don't know, and I go out. I'm out. I don't remember nothing. I didn't wake up till about, I want to say 10:30, 11:30 in the morning, because the sprinklers woke me up at the Riviera. You know how they have bushes and stuff all around the Riviera? Well, they found me on the third parking stall in the bush in there. You know what I mean? I was like, they threw me in the bush. So the parking security, he was like, hey, are you all right? Are you okay? And I hear him, hey, buddy, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. So when I get up, I see his face, like, oh my God. And I'm like, what, dude? And he was like, oh my God. Like, he was like trying to, I'm like, dude, like, what's wrong with you? I got something on my face. And he's like, look at the mirror. Look at the mirror. And I'm like, all right. So I look in the mirror, and I'm like, what the hell? This whole, like, from like my face right here, all this right here, all this is meat red. Like meat red. All the skin was, and that's what it was. I remember like bouncing my face on the floor, and my whole face is getting grinded, bro. And I could hear, where's the rest of the money? And I'm like, oh fuck, that's what that was. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened. So I get up. I have no shoes on, bro. No shoes on. And Vegas is hot. I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas, but it's hot, bro. It's ugly hot. I'm walking around barefooted. So I'm like, Well, fuck, I break it. Luckily, I'm right there at the Riviera, and Van Patten is about a street away, dude. So Van Patten's about a street away, so I get there fast. And my cousin, remember I told you my cousin Crystal's out there, and she's like, "Oh my God, cousin, what happened to you?" And I was like, is it that bad? She's like, oh my God, go look at yourself. And I looked at myself and I was crying, dude. I was just like, what the hell? What the hell's going on? How am I gonna explain this one? And that's when my phone rings. Hello? Ma, it's my mom. Hi, Mom. Hey, put your video call on. And I'm like, for what? Should I just put it on, please? I'm like, all right. I put it on. She's like, oh my God, Glenn, what happened? I was like, I don't know, Mom. She goes, no, you're not staying there anymore. I'm gonna send you money and come back to California. And all right, cool. So my mom sends me money. I come back to California. You know what I mean?
What have you done since you've gotten?
Huh?
What have you done since you gotten home?
What have I done since I got home? I got a job in the union with my dad. My dad's a superintendent for K&B Homes. My mom's an interpreter for right here for CCB, LA Criminal Courts Building. I do construction. I'm a certified electrician. While I was doing my 11 years, I got my culinary arts degree, and I got my master's in psychology. So that's pretty cool.
That's great.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But you're staying on the streets now?
Currently, yes. I'm back and forth on the streets because you know, I'm not. Can I say this on camera without prejudice? I got a drug habit. You know what I mean? And it takes a toll on me sometimes, and I can't blame the devil for everything. You know what I mean? I gotta blame myself. I mean, because we're in control of our actions. And so me having my drug problem, I tend to seclude myself because everybody I know doesn't do drugs. You know what I mean? So they know where you been at, or you don't do that to yourself. Don't isolate yourself. It's because they know I'm going down a spiral again, or I'm self-loathing, or you know what I mean? I'm thinking like, why me? Why did I get out? You know what I mean? I should be doing life in prison. You know what I mean? And because that's my mind was wrapped around like, okay, this is my life now. You know what I mean? I was to the point where I was gonna get tattooed everything, my whole face, my whole body, and I know my mom said, "You're coming home. Just don't know when, but you're coming home. Just know that." You know what I mean? And this is where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Talking to you and being blessed and being blessed and able to have this conversation with you means a lot to me. So thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
But what is your drug now?
What is my drug? I drink. I drink alcohol. I smoke weed and then methamphetamine. You know what I mean? But I thank God that I can say no. I can walk away from that and say no now. Being that I'm strong in the Lord. I believe in God, and my sister. I don't know if you're familiar with, but they're really plugged in with Victory Outreach in Victorville, and I did the little program for about a year. You know what I mean? Where men come in off the streets and a bunch of drug addicts, ex-gang members, and just let go and let God. You know what I mean? And I did that for about a year. But I got scared because I started to get in tune, like really in tune. I had I guess my gift was to interpret tongues, and what people hear like it was like English to me. You know what I mean? And it was pretty gnarly, bro. To where it scared me, so I like walked away from it. You know what I mean?
What is the hardest part to transition from spending a decade in prison and then thinking you're going to be there forever and then being popped out on the street?
It's really hard. It's really hard.
You become institutionalized, right?
Yeah, you're set in your ways already to as far as you're confined to this 8x10, and it's just you and another man sharing this 8x10, meaning every time you guys pass each other, you're bumping into each other, you're bumping into, hey, excuse me, bro, or hey, excuse me, bro, or I mean, you're using the restroom. And seriously, I'm using the restroom and he's right here writing a letter. You know what I mean? So our desk is right here, the sink is right here, the bunks are right here. So I'll be using the restroom and he'll be right here writing a letter. You know what I mean? And he's like, hey, what's up? And we're like this far away from each other. We can I can read his letter like that. You know what I mean? And it's to where now I can actually shut the door to my restroom, lock it, and enjoy my peace, enjoy my time. You know what I mean? So it's rough, you know. I still my mom thinks it's funny. I still roll my shower roll up, like my towel, my boxers, my socks, and my sandals. I roll it up and walk to the shower with it. You know what I mean? Shower with my boxers on, wash my boxers, and what we call it, wash one, wear one. You know what I mean? And we wash our boxers. We throw our new boxers on, and we hang. You know what I mean? We hang our boxers and to let it dry. I mean, I'm still like in a sense very institutionalized when it comes to. Excuse me. I'm very meticulous. Being neat. You know what I mean? Being neat. Excuse me. I didn't think I had OCD when it comes to like cleaning, but like let's just say the blue pen right there. I don't like the way it's moved, so it has to be straight. You know what I mean? So I'll move it until I think it's straight. Or
did that OCD appear when you were in prison?
yeah. I learned at a young age because you would hear down the hall like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm crying. I'm like, damn, what's that for? In my mind, I'm like, damn, what the hell's going on? Like, my cellular told me, like, oh, he's probably peeing standing up or something. You know what I mean? Because like, mind you, my cellular we're both lifers. So as you learned, as I learned, being in a lifer cell, you got to sit down when you pee. I mean, it's out of respect because you don't want piss getting all over the floor. You know what I mean? Because that's where we walk. That's our living room. You know what I mean? That's where we want to. We can sit on the floor. You know what I mean? So I did 6 months in solitary confinement in a shoe. So I know what it is to be alone. I got comfortable with that.
What emotions do you go through as you're
spending
time in solitary?
You name it. I went from crying to it's not my fault. I shouldn't be here. But not really. I can't blame nobody else but myself. You know what I mean? But myself, because I'm in control of my actions. You know what I mean? And
did you feel like you were getting what you deserved?
Yes, I do feel.
I mean, were you innocent of the second conviction?
Of
the time that you got convicted for?
Yeah. Because like I said, I didn't know. No one knew he had a brain aneurysm until the autopsy showed he did.
Right.
But they failed to bring that up in my first
so that's why you got out.
Yeah, that's the reason I got out.
But then the house that you burned down and the people died in the house, did you feel like you were somehow deserving of prison time?
Oh yeah. I should have been doing life a long time ago. You know what I mean? I thank God for that. You know what I mean? That he'll let you get away. I don't know if you're a believer in God, but I am. He'll let you get away with certain things until he's like, you know what? Enough's enough. You know what I mean? You haven't learned nothing, and you're getting worse. I'm gonna pump your brakes, and I think that's what he did to me. You know what I mean? And a quick reality check, like, boom, your freedom could be gone in a split second. You know what I mean?
And now that you're free, do you feel gratitude for the situation you're in now?
Oh, for sure, dude. I'm grateful and thankful for everything, for everybody who stuck by my side, for everybody that never gave up on me. You know what I mean? For my kids who never gave up on me. And I know with the proper guidance and the right people in my life, my grandma used to tell me, you surround yourself with dogs, you're gonna get fleas. You know what I mean? So you surround yourself with the right people that are doing the right thing, you'll eventually do the right thing. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at in my life right now. You know what I mean? I want to keep those people that really aren't going to benefit me in the long run away from me. Not in a sense to where I don't have to cut them off completely. I could be like, hey, dude, what's up? How you doing? To where it's like, hey, what's up, Glenn? Come on, bro. You know what I mean? We're having a social gathering. Let's go. You know what I mean? So I like to be that dude. You know what I mean? Not that, oh, hell no. Here comes that drug addict dude again. You know what I mean? He's all strung out. I don't like to be that dude. You know what I mean? I spent many years of my life having to apologize to people because I didn't know how to conduct myself while drunk or under the influence. You know what I mean? So, dude, I haven't drank a beer, and I want to say now like 13 years, bro. I haven't drank a beer. You know what I mean?
And you used to have a problem with alcohol.
Huh?
And you used to have a problem.
Yes, a real problem with alcohol, and that night, all that happened was I was really intoxicated. You know what I mean? And where I could have walked away from it, but what they call it, beer balls, and came out of me, and all that unfortunate events came to pass, and I mean, a young man lost his life that night. You know what I mean? And for a long time, I couldn't forgive myself. Like, how can I do that? How can I do that to him? Like, But then God spoke to me in jail, like, you'll see it's not your fault. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird how like, you be like, oh yeah, right, dude. God spoke to you. No, bro, he really came to me like, you're gonna be okay. You'll see how it's not your fault. And so I just let go, let God, and on my Sally, for some reason, behind my back, pulled the appeal paperwork in, and then they called me like 2 weeks later, like, hey, roll it up, you're transpacking, you're going out to court. Like, what the hell? For what? For your appeal. And I'm like, and I'm looking at my Shelly, and he's laughing and even he's laughing on the bottom rack, like, I'm sorry, Shelly, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you gotta go home, dude. Like, you don't deserve this, dude. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, Shelly. I'm sorry. Can I say that on camera? I apologize.
Was that the best day of your life?
Yeah, bro. I mean, he goes, I probably won't see you again. Just know that I love your life, and because if you're innocent, I mean, if you're an innocent man, they let you go right there from court. No ifs, ands, or buts. You don't have to come back to the jail and get your property. Heck no.
What's your Sally's name?
My Sally's name is Rudy Acosta from F Troop Orange County. He's a big.
Your freedom is because of him.
Yes, because of him. Because he took the time to, mind you, he's been there 45 years prior to me getting there, and I was the second Sally he's had because the rest of his Sallys he's killed. You know what I mean? So imagine that. You know what I mean? Yeah, imagine that. So. Yeah, that guy, he's been through some stuff, you know what I mean? And it's all because they don't know how to sit down when they pee or when they belch when they're eating, you know what I mean? He hates that. He hated that part. Like, bro, don't be a pig, bro. Just because you were busted and society labels us as trash doesn't mean we have to conduct ourselves like that, you know what I mean? And he held himself at a really high standard, and that's what he held me, you know what I mean? So yeah, if Eddie, Freddie, if you're watching this one day, just know that I love you, man, and thank you for doing that for me. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. What is your biggest fear?
Being alone, and because of my anger or because of my addiction. You know what I mean? That's my biggest fear, dude. So
Do you have a short temper?
I used to have a short temper. I was 0 to 100 real quick. You know what I mean? You name it. What do you mean I can't get through that brick wall? I bet you I can. You mean that was my motto? You know what I mean? Nothing can stop me. And you know what I mean? I learned my lesson quick. I'm gonna have to mind somebody quick. I'm gonna have to mind somebody. But yeah, dude, I thank God, and I think the people that never give up on me. You know what I mean?
What's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret is that night. I mean, the night I got in a fight with that dude. You know what I mean? I had a lot of plans. You know what I mean?
You were how old?
I'm 35.
No, you were how old when you did
At the time, 11 years old. 24, I was like 23. 23 years old. Yeah. I was 23, and like I said, I've been out 2 years, and I love every minute. I'm not on parole. I'm not on probation, and I love it, dude. I love it. My kids love me. You know what I mean? Dude, when I came home, my 18-year-old was taller than me, and I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Okay, what's up, Dad? I'm like, what's up, dude? I watched all my kids grow up through mail, through pictures, you know. Because I didn't want them to come visit me in jail because it's not a place for them. I don't want them to think it's cool. So go, oh yeah, I want to go visit my dad in jail. That's not a cool story to tell your friends.
Yeah. Is meth that difficult a drug to quit?
Meth? No, it's not difficult to quit. Like I said, you surround yourself with people that are sober, I'm eventually gonna get sober. I mean, because.
But you've been out 2 years now.
Yeah, I've been out 2 years. Yeah.
Do you think by now you'd put it away and?
I'm not like strung out on it. Like I dabble, you know what I mean? I'm not like every day. I'm not like, oh, hold on, guys, I'm gonna go get high over here and I'll be back. You know what I mean? That's not me. Like I'll do a line here and there if I know it's gonna be a long night. We're gonna go party. I'll do a line and that's it. You know what I mean? I won't touch it. I don't walk around with a piece on me or a sack on me.
Are you working now?
Yes, I work. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. A lot of people are functioning on meth.
Yeah. And those are the scariest one. They call us functioning drug addicts, and they say those are the scariest type because you don't know when they're gonna snap. You know what I mean? Because
I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying there are a lot of people that are working.
yeah.
What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
The most important lesson in my life is one step at a time. You know what I mean? Life is a marathon. It's not a race. You know what I mean? And you gotta take it. You gotta take it for what it is. You know what I mean? It's life. Enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because you don't know when it could get snatched away. You know what I mean?
All right, Glenn. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you so much, sir, for listening to my story.
I wish you the best of luck out here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.